Morning everyone. Today's topic of seminar is classification of malocclusion, and the contents are introduction, various terminologies used in malocclusion, basic classification of malocclusion. Then we will discuss about angle system of classification, Davis modification of angle classification, Lister's modification of angles classification, Simon's classification, Bennett's classification, and Ackermann-Proffitt's classification. First, we should know what is malocclusion. Malocclusion can present itself in numerous ways. Classification involves the grouping together of various malocclusion into simpler or smaller groups. What are the advantages of classification? Help in diagnosis and treatment planning, visualizing and understanding the problem associated with that malocclusion, helps in communication and comparison of various malocclusions. Terminologies, types of malocclusion terminologies, broadly divided into interarch, and skeletal malocclusion. Interarch malocclusion includes variation in single tooth or multiple tooth within an arch that can be mandibular or maxillary arch. Interarch malocclusion comprises of malocclusion of dental arches to one another upon skeletal bony basis, and skeletal malocclusion involves underlying bony basis. Interarch malocclusion, some of the malocclusions are distal inclination or distal dipping, in that the clinical crown is distally inclined. In mesial inclination, the crown is mesially inclined. In lingual inclination, the crown is lingually inclined, and in buccal, it is buccally inclined. And in displacement, the whole of the tooth is moved. That is bodily movement of the bodily movement. A distal displacement referred to the tooth is bodily moved in distal direction. In lingual, it is lingually moved, and in buccal, it is buccally moved. Infravirgin or infraocclusion is the tooth has not erupted enough to at the occlusal level as compared to the other tooth. Supravirgin, supra-eruption of the tooth above the occlusal level. Rotation along its long axis. Distolingual refer to the tooth has moved around its long axis so that the distal aspect is more lingually placed. In mesiolingual, it is the mesial aspect is more lingually placed. Transposition, exchange of the position of two tooth. Interarch malocclusion, sagittal plane, prenormal or postnormal occlusion. Prenormal occlusion refers to a condition where the lower arch is more forwardly placed when patient bites in centric occlusion. And in normal occlusion, the lower arch is more distally placed when the patient bites in centric occlusion. Vertical plane malocclusion, deep bite or open bite. Excessive vertical overlap is classified as deep bite, and open bite is where there is no vertical overlap between upper and lower teeth. Transverse plane, it includes various type of crossbite. The term crossbite refers to the abnormal transfer relationship between the upper and the lower arches. The skeletal malocclusion that can be in sagittal plane, transverse plane, and vertical plane. In sagittal plane, there can be prognathism or retrognathism of the jaw, and in transverse plane are usually result of narrowing or widening of the jaw, and in vertical plane can affect the lower facial height, abnormal variation in the vertical measurement of the jaw. Angle system of classification, it is the most oldest classification given by Edward Hartley angle in 1899. It was based on the mesodistal relationship of the teeth, dental arches, and the jaw. According to Engel, the various maxillary first permanent molar is the key to occlusion. He considered these teeth as fixed anatomical point within the jaw. Based on the relationship of lower first permanent molar to the upper first permanent molar, he classified malocclusion in three main classes: class 1, class 2, and class 3. It is characterized by the presence of normal intermolar relationship. The mesiobuccal cusp of the maxillary permanent first molar will occlude in the buccal groove of the mandibular first permanent molar. Class 1 malocclusion can be discrepancy either within the arches or in the transverse or vertical relationship between the arch. Class 1 malocclusion may include displacement or impacted teeth and anomalies in the size of and the number and the form of the teeth. Another malocclusion that is categorized in class 1 malocclusion is bimaxillary protrusion, where the patient exhibits normal class 1 molar relationship, but the dentition of both the upper and the lower jaws arches are forwardly placed in relation to the facial profile. Second one is Engel's class 2, a relationship where the distal buccal cusp of the permanent first molar will occlude in the buccal groove of the lower first permanent molar. Engel has classified class 2 into two divisions, class 2 div 1 and class 2 div 2. Class 2 div 1 is characterized by procline upper central incisors that will result in increased overjet, deep incisor overbite that can occur in anterior region. Characteristic feature of this is the presence of abnormal muscle activity. The upper lip is usually hypotonic, short and fail to form lip seal. The lower lip cushion, the palatal aspect of the upper teeth are typical of failure called lip trap. Buccellator mechanisms occur in this type of malocclusion. In class 2 div 2, the classic feature of class 2 is the presence of the lingually inclined upper central incisor and labially inclined upper lateral incisor overlapping the central incisors. Patient exhibit deep bite, deep anterior bite, lingual incline, upper central give the arch a squarish appearance. The mandibular labial gingival is often traumatized by the excessive tipped upper central incisor. The patient exhibit normal perioral muscle activity as compared to the class 2 div 1. Class 2 subdivision when a class 2 molar relationship exit on one side and class 1 on the other side. Class 3 malocclusion. True class 3 is the skeleton class 3 malocclusion of genetic origin that can occur due to the following: excessive large mandible, forwardly placed mandible, smaller than normal maxilla, retropositioned maxilla or composition of these above. The lower incisor tend to be lingually tilted. The patient can present with normal overjet, an edge-to-edge incisor relationship, or anterior crossbite. The space available for tongue is usually more, thus the tongue occupies the lower position resulting narrow upper arch. Pseudo class 3 is the condition in which forward movement of the mandibular during jaw closure, thus it give a postural habitual class 3 malocclusion. There are some causes are presence of occlusal prematurity may deflect the mandible forward. In case of premature loss of deciduous posture, the child tend to move mandible forward to establish the contact in the anterior region. A child with enlarged adenoid tend to move the mandible forward. Class 3 subdivision, this is the condition characterized by class 3 on one side and class 1 on another side. Drawbacks of Engel classification. Engel considered malocclusion only in anterior sagittal plane or anterior posterior plane. He did not consider malocclusion vertical and transverse plane. Engel considered first permanent molar as the fixed unit in the skull, but this is not found true. This classification cannot be applied if the permanent molar are extracted or missing. Cannot be applied on deciduous dentition. Does not differentiate between skeletal and dental malocclusion. Does not highlight the etiology of the malocclusion. An individual tooth malposition has not been considered by Engel. Devious modification of Engel's classification of malocclusion. He divided Engel's class 1 into 5 and Engel class 3 into 3 subclasses or types. In class 1 modification of Davis, in type 1, class 1 malocclusion with bunched or crowded anterior teeth. In type 2, protrusive maxillary incisors. In type 3, anterior crossbite. In type 4, posterior crossbite. In type 5, the permanent molar has shifted mesially due to early extraction of the second deciduous molar or second premolar. Modification of class 3 malocclusion. The upper and the lower arch, when viewed separately, appear normal, but when the arches are made to occlude, the patient shows an edge-to-edge incisor alignment suggestive of forwardly movement of the mandible dentation. In type 2, the mandibular incisors are crowded and are lingually as in relation to the maxillary incisors, and in type 3, maxillary incisors are crowded and are in crossbite as in relation to the mandibular anterior. Another modification of angle classification was given by Lischer. He substituted the term class 1, class 2 and class 3 by angle with terms neutro-occlusion, disto-occlusion and meso-occlusion and added few more terms. Neutro-occlusion synonyms to the angles class 1 malocclusion, disto-occlusion synonyms to the angles class 2 malocclusion, meso-occlusion synonyms to the angle class 3 malocclusion. Bucco-occlusion, buccal placement of the tooth or a group of teeth. Lingo-occlusion, lingual placement of the tooth or a group of teeth. Supraocclusion, when a tooth or a group of teeth have erupted beyond the occlusal plane. Infraruption, when a tooth or teeth has not erupted to the occlusal plane. Mesioversion, mesial to the normal position. Distoversion, distal to the normal position. Transversion, transposition of the tooth. Extroversion, abnormal axial inclination of the tooth. And torsioversion, rotation of the tooth along its long axis. Simon's classification, also known as craniometric classification. This classification relate the dental arches in all the three planes. Simon's system classification made use of the three anthropometric line planes, that is Frankfurt horizontal plane, orbital plane, and the mid-sagittal plane. The classification was based on abnormal deviation of the dental arches from their normal position in relation to these three planes. Frankfurt horizontal plane. This is the plane that connects the upper margin of the external auditory meatus to the infraorbital margin. This plane is used to classify malocclusion vertical plane. When the dental arch or part of it are closer than the normal to the Frankfurt plane, it is called attraction, and if they are away from the Frankfurt plane, and then it is known as abstraction. Orbital plane, this plane is perpendicular to the Frankfurt horizontal plane, drop down from the bony orbital margin directly under the pupil of the eye. According to Simon, this plane could pass through the distal third of the upper canine. This is called Simon's law of canine. This place is used to describe the malocclusion in a sagittal or anteroposterior direction. When the part of it is further from orbital plane, then it is known as protraction, and it is closer, then it is known as retraction. Mid-sagittal plane, the mid-sagittal plane is used to describe malocclusion in the transverse plane. When a part or a whole of the arch is away from the mid-sagittal plane, then it is known as distraction, and when the arch or part of it is closer to its plane is known as contraction. Bennett's classification. Norman Bennett classified malocclusion based on its etiology. Class 1, abnormal position of one or more teeth due to local causes. In class 2, abnormal formation of a group of a part or a whole of either arch due to developmental defect of bone. And in class 3, abnormal relationship between upper and lower arch and between their arch and facial contour and correlated abnormal formation of either arch. Another system of classification is Ackermann-Profit system of classification. Ackermann and Profit in 1960 proposed a diagrammatic classification of malocclusion to overcome the limitation of the angles classification. And the salient feature of this classification include transverse as well as vertical discrepancy can be considered in addition to the anterior posterior malocclusion. Crowding and arch asymmetry can be evaluated. Incisor protrusion is taken into account. This system of classification is based on Wien symbolic diagram that identify 5 major characteristics to be considered and described in the classification. And there step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and step 5. In step 1, first we see alignment. First step involves the assessment of the alignment and the symmetry of the dental arch. It can be classified as ideal, crowded or spaced. In step 2, we will consider profile. The profile is described as convex, straight or concave. The facial divergence is also considered, that can be anterior and posterior divergent. In step 3, we consider type. Transverse skeleton and dental relationship is evaluated. Buccal or palatal crossbite, if any, are noted. The crossbite is further subclassified as unilateral or bilateral. In addition, differentiation is made between skeleton and dental crossbite. Step 4 class, this involves the assessment of the sagittal relationship. It is classified as angles class 1, class 2 and class 3 malocclusion. Differentiation is made between dental and the sagittal malocclusion. And step 5, bite depth. Malocclusion in the vertical plane are noted. They are considered anterior or posterior open bite, anterior deep bite or posterior collapsed bite. A mention is made whether the malocclusion is dental or skeleton. This is the Wien symbolic diagram representing Malocclusion all the three planes.